back, everyone. It's the middle of December 2022. Everybody's life is getting back to normal. COVID is behind us for the most part. And people are back to doing the things that they did before all this mess from China hit our shores and changed our country for a couple of years. Some would argue forever. But one of the things that people are doing again this season is coming up to an area like this, which is a wildlife management area, and going hunting. And that, of course, brings up a discussion that seems to happen every hunting season on Facebook groups for motorcycle riders, at least the ones that I'm part of. And that discussion is, should a motorcyclist be in the woods during hunting season? Now, this is like an oil change discussion in the fact that it generates very strong opinions either direction. Many guys will be like, oh yeah, I definitely stay out of the woods. You know, I can hunt up, or they can hunt up there for a month or two out of the year, and I can ride there the rest of the year. And then there's another group that's like, screw that. They're open woods. I'm going there whenever I want to go there. I don't care if they're hunting or not. There's very few people that are in between. I'm going to take the in-between position. So these woods are public lands. That is true. And this particular forest tract is open to licensed motorcycles, meaning you've got a dirt bike that's got a tag on it. It's street legal. You can come up here and you can ride and you don't need a permit. And it's a wildlife management area open to people to hunt with permits, of course. Now, for a guy like me who comes up here on a dirt bike, it's open year-round. No permit as long as you got a street legal bike. And that's it. I don't have to be concerned about what part's open to me, what days I can come ride, or anything else like that. Now, there's the other side of this discussion is the part that you'll hear from guys who both ride and hunt. Now, those guys seem to come down on the side of the hunters, that you should only come up here and ride your dirt bikes during non-hunting season. I think the argument from that position is because there is a limited window for somebody to come up here and hunt. Now, I take the middle position because of a few different reasons. One, it's been my experience from both coming up here myself to hunt and talking to guys who hunt regularly, a lot more than I do, that the wildlife management areas like this pretty much suck for hunting. So basically, look at it like this. The guys that are really into their hunting, like, you know, plan all year for it, most of the time will either know somebody or they themselves have access to private land to go hunt on. And the rest of the people, this is essentially like Walmart up here. You know, every scrub that's got a 308 will come up here with their orange vest that they got from the CVS and try to get them a deer. But the bigger point is, most people who are serious about hunting don't come up here to the wildlife management areas to do it. But then there's the argument that, you know, some people can't afford to go get a private lease, so they don't know anybody that's got a private lease, so they have no choice but to come up to a wildlife management area, and they consider themselves a serious hunter. And those people supposedly are upset when a guy like me comes along and scares away the deer. All right, that sounds like it might be a valid argument. However, I would ask this question. When I come up here and ride, I predominantly stick to these major trails. These are considered roads, if you believe that. And most of the hunters will drive up and down these roads. So if the hunters are driving on the roads and I'm driving on the roads, who's scaring the deer and the hog? Is it me or is it the hunters or is it both of us? Or is it neither of us? Most of the guys who do come up here and they hunt, they don't hunt even a few hundred yards away from this road. They're trekking back a mile, maybe a couple of miles, into the woods, away from all this. So what's scaring deer more? Me on the road or an ATV getting ridden back to a tree stand or a blind or whatever they're using? I would think that an ATV is going to do a pretty good job of scaring away some deer. So am I really causing that much of a hassle by riding on the trail this way? I don't think so. And also, in addition to that, I'm coming up here and riding in the mid-afternoon to early evening. I'm sure there are some guys up here that are hunting at that time of the day. But I think most of the people are coming up here and they're hunting in the morning. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe that's why I've never come up here and shot anything. Well, these trails are flooded out bad. I don't think it's really fair to say that a guy can't come up here and ride during hunting season because it's going to scare away deer. I don't buy that argument. Now, I don't mind if you've got different arguments, and I might even agree with you on some of those arguments. In fact, I would make an argument that guys should stay away from these woods during hunting season because the traffic up here is dangerous. Now, you've got a bunch of people that come up to these woods for about 1 month out of the year. And during that 1 month, they might come up here 2, 3, 4, 5 times for a day. Well, it means that when they come up here, they don't give two shits what the trails look like. They don't care if they rut them up. They don't care if they leave debris behind. They don't care at all about the trails. They'll tear them up. I spend a significantly more time up here than most of the average recreational hunters do. So I care about these trails and how they're maintained, and if they get rutted up and tore up and littered up. I don't want those things to happen. But then there's also another argument, and that argument is, well, you should stay out of there. Now, let me preface this. This is the argument from the side that says stay away from the woods. They'll say, don't go up to the woods during hunting season because it pisses the hunters off. And either they're armed because they're hunting, and that means you're in danger, or 2, they're vindictive, and if you ruin their hunt, they're apt to string up barbed wire across the trail, which, if that's taking place, that's attempted homicide. That doesn't seem like it's equal retaliation for scaring off a deer. And then you've got the argument that, well, you know, you can go up there 10 months out of the year, and they can only go up there 2. That one is actually the strongest argument if you want to persuade somebody that comes up here on a regular basis to stay out. My argument that the reason I stay out of here due to the traffic, I feel that's probably the best reason, because I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've been coming down a trail, not at a crazy speed, maybe 20, 25 miles an hour, and there's a truck that's tearing down the trail, and there's a dust cloud behind them, because, you know, it's fun for them, like it is for me, and they're just making a mess, and you come around some of these turns are quite blind. I have no idea what's going to be in front of me, and usually it's going to be too hard to stop. So that's it. That's what I think about all that. What do you think? Do you think that a rider should stay out of the woods during hunting season? Or do you think a rider should come up to the woods during hunting season? I kind of feel like right now as I'm wrapping this up that I might have been ambiguous. I think that if you want to come up here and ride during hunting season, like I'm doing right now today, then go right ahead and do it. Just understand you're running risks higher than you normally do up here. Not because one of these hunters is going to shoot me and drag me off into the woods. More so because the hunters are up here in their trucks and vehicles. They're not familiar with the area. They speed. They don't care. They're reckless. And what they do to the trails themselves endangers you. There's been many times I've come up here. Many times I've come up here and the trail has had something over it. I'll get up closer and I'll see it looks like debris, brush, branches, whatever. And when I move it away, there's been a hole there big enough for my bike to go into entirely. Like if I had hit it going 20, 25, 30 miles an hour, it would have been very damaging to me and my bike. More so to me. I could have been seriously hurt. Now, was that intentional? I don't know. Did somebody, make that hole, dig that hole, and then cover it up so you couldn't see it? Maybe. It seems like that would be a reasonable explanation, but I don't know. Other times I've come up here and I've seen that people have found a hole like that and they've stuck tree branches into the ground to fence it off. Well, you can see that. And I've even had it one time where they put the orange hunting trail tape around it. The flag tape. So, you got all different kinds of people in the world, right? You got idiots and morons, you got decent people, and you find those kinds of people in all groups, all across the country, all over the world. So I don't want to assume that all hunters are out here trying to kill me because they're mad that I'm riding during hunting season. But I also don't want to assume that all hunters are decent and considerate people and wouldn't do something like dig a ditch in the middle of the trail for me to come ride on. We share these woods. The riders share them with the hunters share them with the riders. Oh, and I almost forgot. There's an argument that says, well, if we don't respect the riders, if we don't respect the hunters, then the hunters are going to go and they're going to get it so we can't ride the woods anymore. Well, I think that's bullshit also. I don't buy that argument, just like I don't buy the argument that if you don't, come up here during off-season and ride, then you run the risk of getting shot while you're up here riding during the season. Is it possible that if a hunter was close enough to the trails and fired his rifle, that I could inadvertently get hit riding on the trail? Absolutely. Not because I'm not wearing orange or any kind of gear to identify myself. Not because of that, but just because that's how bullets work. They're indiscriminate. They don't care. If you fire a bullet off in the area of a rider, and that rider happens to cross the path of the bullet as it's flying through the air, it's going to hit you. I guess what I'm trying to say before I wrap this up is you're always running the risk of something happening while you're up here in the woods. But honestly, people run the risk of something happening every day they wake up and get out of bed. Don't live your life in fear. Just be a decent person. Treat other people with respect. Treat other people like you'd like somebody to treat you. And, don't worry about the rest. Shit's gonna happen. It's out of your control for the most part, so don't worry about it. Too many people are worried about too many things that they have too little control over. And on that note, I suppose I will step down off this soapbox and let you go down in those comments and tell me what you think. Am I way off track? Should I keep my ass out of the woods during hunting season? Or should I come up here during hunting season and tell the old hunters to go piss off? I don't care. These are my woods too. You don't like it? Go somewhere private. Or should I come up here, ride respectfully, and if I see hunters, give them a wide berth? That's all. Just be respectful. Let me know while you're down there. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I really need the subscriber count to go up. I'm getting a lot of people that watch these videos that are not subscribed. It's something like 90% of the people that watch my video are not subscribed. So how about of that 90, maybe 45% of you go down there and subscribe for me. Help me out. I'd appreciate it. I'll keep making more videos. All right, folks, that's it. Peace out.